Welcome to the Simply Pediatrics Podcast, simplifying holistic healthcare for infants and children. We're so glad you're here. Join Jennifer Zethner, holistic pediatric nurse practitioner and holistic mom of 3 on a mission. Listen in as she shares the answers to the most asked questions from parents in her practice every day and offers parents practical strategies and actionable steps to support their child's health and well-being. Enjoy this insightful episode of the Simply Pediatrics Podcast and stay tuned for more information at the end of the podcast.
Hi, I'm Jennie Zethner. That's right, I'm here in my car. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find sitting in my car to be very peaceful. It happens to be one of the quietest places I have in my life. I have 3 children. I work full time. I'm busy like the rest of you, and I really would like to share information, and doing it from my car is most convenient. So I'm going to ask you to please forgive if there's any commotion behind me, any beeping, any dogs barking, ambulances, fire trucks, etc. I'll do the best I can to find quiet places. I assure you I will never be driving my vehicle when I speak to you. I will always be pulled over and parked. I am typically parked waiting for one of my children to come out of an event or something. So that is what I'm doing with my time here. And I look forward to sharing information with you. And again, forgive me for being a little unprofessional being here in my car, but I hope it works. And with that, let's get started.
Today's episode, Acne.
Hello and welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today I'm going to talk about acne. Acne can be really traumatizing for some of our teenagers. You know, it starts to happen exactly at the age where they need the confidence. They care so much about what everybody thinks of them. And then they start having breakouts. And even if it's just like one tiny pimple or a whole face of like acne, it's really, really traumatizing for kids. So for our teenagers. So what can we do to help them right now? So for starters, help them out by keeping the food out of the house that we know causes more acne, worsens pimples, right? So those 2 foods are going to be sugar and dairy. And I know you hear me talk about dairy forever, on and on, but it really does. Dairy products, milk contains a lot of hormones in there, and it kind of disrupts their hormones and just adds to the whole equation of acne. So that and sugary foods. So moms and dads, just try to keep those foods out of the house as best as you can. But here's the big tip. Do not shame them. Do not tell them, don't eat that. Don't go on to them about how they shouldn't eat this or they should eat that. Don't do it. The last thing they need is to feel guilty and shameful about the food that they're choosing. Not nice at all. Please, please, please. I'm sure I've done it myself. I'm sure it's come out of my mouth, but it's wrong. So do not say it to your children. If you see them going for sweets or dairy or whatever they're having, it's all good. But what you can do is just decrease the amount of it you have in your home. That's it. That's all. Just don't have it as readily available to them, and then that will help them to eat less of it. If they're out of the house and they're making their own choices, all good. All right? All good. The foods that you can keep on hand in the house, obviously, are going to be more fruits and more vegetables. If it's around, they're more likely to eat it. That's all. That's all there is to it. So, foods. The next thing for kids, of course, is going to be some supplements. And supplements are really easy to give to teenagers. Most of them can swallow those capsules, and it's really helpful. So 2 supplements I recommend for teenagers who are struggling with some acne is turmeric and probiotics. So turmeric it naturally helps the body decrease inflammation. It's a wonderful, wonderful root that we can put into our foods, but for our teenagers, I would say easiest to give them as a supplement. And at the bottom of this, I'll put a link to some supplements that I recommend of turmeric. And the other one is probiotics. So if your child is already on a probiotic, then switch it up. You know, staying on the same probiotic for years and years, switch it up to a different one. Speak to your healthcare provider or to your local health food store about a good probiotic for your child. Another one to add in would be like a Lactobacillus acidophilus. So acidophilus also assists our gut in optimal health, and that assists our skin in staying as healthy as possible. Which also leads me into, and this is not a topic that your children will talk about with you, but if you can, regularly detoxifying, right? So regular bowel movements. Talk to the car if you can. Maybe don't point blank in their face, ask them how frequently they're having a bowel movement. They're probably not going to tell you unless it's been something you've been talking about with them since they're little. Having regular bowel movements, getting rid of our waste on a regular basis through urinating and through defecating is really important. And if your teenager shares that with you, that they in fact don't go every day, or when they go, it's not normal looking, then maybe they'll be open to having that conversation about how they can assist their body with that, right? The foods that they choose, more water, the probiotic, all of that really does make a difference. Our gut and our skin health are very closely linked to one another. There are, of course, so many skincare products on the market, so many, and teenagers they'll ask to buy every single one that's out there. Many of these skincare products are very drying. So if your child is trying out some of these products, pay a little bit of attention to them when they're using them. What can happen is they can be so drying that they might get rid of the pimple, but it causes the skin all around it to be so irritated and red. So watch what they're using. Again, we don't want to get in and stress our children out in regard to their skincare and what they're using, but assist them a little bit with it. There is a really great product out there right now, and I'll put a link to it. I think there's a couple different products that are doing the same thing, but our skin, like our gut, has a natural microbiome. Right? So our skin contains many natural bacteria that are supposed to be there to keep us healthy. And what I find that people who have eczema and acne, they either have a proliferation or they're lacking in the appropriate bacteria that should be living there. So there's some more gentle skincare products that put that bacteria kind of back onto the skin. Now, remember, acne, really, we need to work on it from the inside our body, right? So the supplements and the diet matters a lot. But you certainly can help with the skin, with the products that they're using. So I'll put a link to the two products that I'm most aware of that have these topical bacteria that are healthy for the skin to help in healing. If your child is really struggling, it might be beneficial to see a dermatologist, see if there's other topicals that may be warranted at this point. Many of us holistic parents don't want prescriptions, but sometimes there's some topicals that can be really helpful if your child's going through a rough time of getting their skin under control. Their emotional health is very important at this stage of their life, and some topical ointments may be beneficial, and at their age not much of it is very minimally going into their body systemically. These are products that are going to stay on their skin and could potentially help them. Okay, moms and dads of teenagers. These are hard years if you have a teenager that's struggling with the acne. I hope some of this information was helpful for you. Look at some of the links at the bottom as well for some more information. Remember, parenting is a journey and you're doing an amazing job. Stay curious and keep learning, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining Jennie on the Simply Pediatrics Podcast. We hope that the valuable information she shared in this episode will inspire and empower you on your holistic parenting journey. If you would like to learn more about Jennie, her Simply Pediatrics practice, or anything that she spoke about today, please check the show notes that accompany this podcast, and you'll find all the links and resources you need. You can also sign up for the Simply Pediatrics mailing list so that you receive Jennie's weekly newsletters packed with vital information and holistic parenting gems. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider giving this page a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes. And don't forget to connect with us by sharing your thoughts in the comments section below. Follow Simply Pediatrics on any and all of the social media platforms. And if you're interested in an in-person or a virtual appointment with Jennie, please see the contact details in the show notes. Stay tuned for more episodes packed with a wealth of powerful information to support you on your holistic parenting path. See you next time.